Hello, Elin. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Yeah,
Hello.
happy to see you. Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak with you, to speak about your art and your way, how you decided to be a jeweler. And yeah, because I saw your works during many years in internet, and first time I saw them in reality, it was this year during Munich Jewelry Week. And I saw you and I met you and your story, your way of thinking around some things, the stories about potatoes inspired me so much that I wanted to make an interview with you. So thank you so much for this opportunity. Yeah.
Thank
So,
you.
so let me ask you just some basic things because I think and I hope that this video will look not only jewelers who know a lot already, but just some people who are interested in different kinds of art, so they don't know you so much. Can you tell me, because for me it's always interesting question and answers are really different. What is your road to jewelry, to this art of thinking and showing the ideas through jewelry? Did you decide from the first sight that you will be a jeweler, or it happened differently?
No, it was for me quite a long journey actually before I came to jewelry, and well, it's the lust to create or will to explore different ideas in a creative way. That's have been I think all my life, lifelong feeling, but this I always thought that you need to have like an academic education, and I was very early interested in like environmental situation and animal rights and the climate change situation. This is like in the 90s, and then I was with different environmental groups, and I thought that I wanted to save the world in some way, and then I went on to like read a lot about it at the university, different courses like human ecology, and also the question about why people do as they do. It was an interesting question, I think, and that's led me to like social anthropology, and also there was like an everyday ecology subject at the university then, a lot concerning about how families and household relate to different questions and different decisions in their everyday. And so this was I studied a lot of courses at the university, but then I realized that I didn't know where to go with all this information and all this education, and was confused, and I just took a break, and in that break I worked some, and also I took a silversmithing course, an evening class, and then I realized that it was a really I was sort of seduced by the silver, and the possibilities of the material, that you can do almost anything in silver, and it was a sort of awakening for me, and so I studied uh, well, to one more year as a at the sort of basic course, basic training in silversmithing, and then I realized there was something called art jewelry, and that's it was actually my teacher at this course, that she was a technician at the university education in art jewelry in Gothenburg. And she told me there was this subject called art jewelry, and I was really hooked instantly, and I wanted to go there. So I applied and I got in, and I went on for the 5 years of master training there.
Oh yeah, a long way jewelry. Yeah. But it's interesting, quite interesting for me. Do you use some knowledges from your like first education about environments and so on? Do you have like this feeling of, okay, I have this synthesis of knowledges of both specializations?
Yeah, in the beginning, I was actually quite disturbed about all the years that I've sort of thrown away in different courses, and why didn't I find this subject earlier? But then I realized that, and it was also quite late in the education that I realized that, wow, all the things that I've read and studied before affects me and my artwork now. So everything that I've experienced before now comes out and in my art, and that's my perspective now. So without all these courses in different subjects, I wouldn't have the view of the world and the stories that I want to tell now.
Yeah, I think you're speaking about this quite disturbing feeling, and I think everyone who changed the specialization in some way have this feeling, and no one speaks in the educational field that this is you have now like a baggage of things of knowledges which you will for sure, of course, will use in any kind of specialization. You're now established human being with some knowledges which you completely cannot throw away, and they are very useful. And yeah, I think it's quite important to speak about it because I have a lot of friends, and actually me as well. I changed with specialization, so yeah, yeah. And but does speaking about your potato topic, is it somehow connected with these environmental things or things connected with nature, or this topic appeared somehow else?
No, it is connected. I think I was it started, I think, with a during my education in at HDK in Gothenburg. I had one project that was about creating ugly shapes that still are appealing enough that you want to pick it up if you found it on the ground. So it's like finding this sort of dichotomy, but still the combination of the ugly and the caring. So that was that project, and when I look at the shapes now, I can see that okay, it's almost potato shapes on these pieces, but it's like could be a potato, but it's not. But that was I think then it turned into the master project that was about when something is boring. It's in Swedish, it's långtråkigt. That's when something is long, boring. I think you can say that something is boring for a very long while. And I believe that this is quite important for human beings to also have this time of boring, because it creates a lot of impulses for the imagination.
So it's not basically about being sad, but about doing nothing.
Yeah.
And okay,
Yeah. more of like not sad at all, but like just a time when you have nothing to do. It's like and that can be really I mean, you don't really have that time a lot these days because you have so many distractions and amusement in just in your pocket and in your telephone. And that's that I think is important, that you have the time for boring stuff
And
also.
precious thing, actually, we can say.
Yeah, that is and now it's like you can buy boring by going to a retreat, and that's like pay a lot of money to have this long boring time, but it could be as easy as just turning off everything and just sitting down. That's really for free. but but anyway, that was my topic for the master.
Yes.
Yeah, the långtråkigt. And then I did a project that was about långtråkigt or long boring, and that was I wanted to visit or distinct for myself 3 places that I could experience this boring time. And for me it was a square here in the city where I live. Was a really boring place, like a city center, but it's really boring. It was really boring. Now it's been redesigned and very nice now, but then it was really boring. And it was also sitting in meetings, like a board meeting, or this I experienced. That's one of the boring situations that I could distinct. And also the shopping center. So I decided to visit or to put myself in these 3 places and sit down and do like a method that I was trying to sort of decide for myself, why did I think these places were this boring. So I just sat down in that place and wrote everything down that happened around me, voices or observations, and I did this for 1 day at all 3 places. And when I was at the shopping center, it was I just sat down and I wrote everything down. And in the end of the day, I was thinking, this is so strange, because everybody comes here to the shopping center and it doesn't really matter what they buy. They all buy the same thing, because they have sort of agreed on this somehow, that everybody should buy this thing today. But it doesn't matter what they consume. It could be a potato, I thought to myself and wrote down. But that was just the first touch of the potato. And then when I was on my way home from the shopping center, I found a potato on the ground on the sidewalk. So it was like in city. I'm not living in a countryside, but it was just laying there in front of me on the ground. And
What a great coincidence of thoughts, yeah. And
yeah, so to me it was like magic. And I realized that, okay, there's something here to be pursued. Yeah.
wow. And do you have something on this topic now with you in your studio? Because I see you're today in your workshop.
Yeah, I am in my workshop. It's in my house. It's a quite small workshop, but it's my place.
Or
And,
is it something?
I have the I have some, because I knew I was going to talk to you, and then I brought out some potatoes, because I think since we were talking about it, and I think I could show them to you.
Yes,
Like
please.
this. So these are going to be brooches, but they are not yet. But they're under construction, and so these are copper now, and electroformed copper, and burnt out wax from inside.
Are they heavy or no?
Oh, it's really light,
Oh.
and it's I make them. I sculpt them in wax. So I make the sculpture of the potato first in wax, and then I electroform the copper, and I burn out the wax, and then I just make it to a brooch or the necklace, whatever I want to, or whatever it wants to be, and then I gold plate the surface of it, so it's like no real potatoes.
But they are looking so real, I have to tell you, like more real than a real potato. Like, wow, okay.
Well, I've practiced.
Okay. So they will be gold plated, yes?
Yes, I think so. I have made two, I think, with without the gold plating, and in like more of a oxidated green surface, because there's this connotation with the potato turning green also, but then it's poisonous to the body, and yeah. Also, the copper is also okay, but when it's inside the body, it's poisonous. So there's a lot of sort of material connotations that I was exploring for a while.
Yeah, yeah. And I saw also some potatoes, your objects, which were made in different materials.
I made some potatoes of wool.
Of,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Now maybe I have some. I have one of these here. It's like a woolen potato, but it's with embroidery, sort of the surface of a potato, or how it could look. So it's an exploration actually about materials, and also heritage from. I found stories from my grandmother's grandmother's father, who was a storyteller, and I found some stories of his in a book from the 1800s. So that's what was inspiring for the project. That was sort of, I started to make pieces that was in collaboration to his stories. So the stories that he told were like folklore stories, but I've never heard them before, and they were really weird and strange stories, and then I wanted to make this project together with him. It was also during the COVID, so it was very nice to have a project that was at home, and in relation to a dead relative. Yeah.
So you discovered these stories only a few years ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And can I ask this piece, this, for example, potato, is it about some story? It has some story behind, I mean, from this book, or no?
Yes, there was a description of him in the book as well, because the writer of the book had also described the little shed that he lived in, and his appearance and his eyes and his voice and his clothes. And when he described his clothes, he was describing that they were more mendings than fabric.
Mm-hmm.
So that was when I started to embroider, because it was like, okay, then I do some building of fabric myself, and also starting with loose wool is like nothing, and then you put it together and it becomes really hard, and you can make shapes of it, but it's like in the beginning it's nothing. And so that was from the description of him. Yeah.
Wow, what a coincidence. I mean, yeah, it's and very, very, very beautiful idea to connect this connection through generations, through the language of jewelry, for example. Oh, beautiful. And
Yes, and he was also, he was a storyteller, but he was like they didn't have any money, and he was like he had nothing to his name but his stories, and the people in the town, they said that we would help you, but then you would have to move from your small shed and leave that also, and then move into like a home for elderly and poor, and he was like this house or this shed in the woods is all that I have, and I don't want to give it up. So then they said that, okay, then you didn't accept our help, so now suit yourself. If you starve to death, it's your problem. And I think that's also really it's related to the financial situation of artists all over I think all over the world has the same dilemma of making art, but also wanted to make a living, because it's hard. It's like no, um, there's no way of supporting yourself from the artwork, only for a chosen few, but still it's like I've realized now, because I've had a work that for putting food on the table, like a work that gives me a wage every month. I am an employee now, and that is really good for the money situation, but I started to feel really bad because I didn't have any time to do the artwork, and that was interesting to me, that it really affected me physically, to not being able to work. It's like okay, that's important to me. It's as important to me that I need to do it. Then there must be something to it for me that makes it important, in a way that is more important than being famous or making money, or I want to express myself through art jewelry, and that's what I want to do. I want to work.
yeah. And do you now full-time work in a studio, or you teach maybe somewhere, no?
No, I work in a konsthall, an art museum for contemporary art, and that's a really interesting work as well, making exhibitions and talking about art all the day. But the need for expressing myself is also really important.
Oh yeah, I think it's always with artists this dilemma of how much time you spend to doing your work. I mean artworks, and sometimes it doesn't give you a lot of money, so you need to do different things, which are not boring, interesting even, but yeah, you always think like in parallel. But how to deal with this? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, to apply to
And
grants and so on.
yeah, yeah, that's really, and also applying to grants takes a lot of time as well, and so it's always a sort of decision you have to make all the time, and I think that's also because you can also say that well, you chose this yourself to be an artist, and you don't need to do it, but it's just like my relative in the 1800s got from his village. I can get the same from my village, but it's like in an important topic and discussion to have, I think, about the time and the money and the support possibilities.
Yeah, yeah, it could be like different and very long topic to discuss. Yeah, but very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And do you have some new current projects which you work on?
Yeah, I do. I have next week I'm going to Madrid to Lalabeyou gallery, and there I will have an exhibition with Carmen Lopez, which is based in Sevilla, and we will have a show that we call Spoons and Potatoes, and there will be lots of spoons and potatoes, of course, but there will also be some forks.
Okay. Well, and I thought there's just a lot of things now happening in Spain, like in Valencia now,
Yeah, yeah.
there, melting point, and your exhibition. So it will be a duo exhibition, yes?
Yes, it is a duo
Ah,
exhibition.
okay, okay.
Yeah, and so I'm very excited. And May 4th is the opening of the exhibition.
Okay.
So it's possible to visit during June as well. Yeah, I think until June. Yeah. But I've made a necklace from a lot of forks, which is very pointy. I can maybe put it on. It's more easy to look at jewelry when somebody's wearing them, right? So it's like this.
Wow.
Quite quite you feel quite dangerous when wearing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe even not, I mean, for different people, for people around you. Not for you, but
Not
it's
for
like
me,
a catch for,
no.
yeah,
For everybody else.
yeah. But it's really shining and like fresh, new. Wow. And which materials did you use here?
It is I used rubber for the base, and so it's quite a sturdy rubber. It's from I have like a material decision for myself, that I use materials that are around me. It's because I want to save the world. I think I told you this before.
Yeah, we remember
Yeah,
from
yeah.
environmental past, which is
Yeah,
only in
yeah.
past. Yes, yes.
So it's like this rubber comes from my grandfather. That was his father was a shoemaker, and so the rubber is really from his workshop. But it's a really sturdy, strong rubber. And all the forks I've been given or bought at the secondhand market. So it's like so many forks. I haven't counted them, but it's like it's a stupid amount of forks.
Wow. And did you give the name to this necklace?
No, I haven't yet. I'm still brewing on that one. Do you have any suggestions?
Oh, I need to think. Oh, wow. It's a hard question because
Yes, I understand.
you told me such a story that the rubber from a workshop of your grandfather, okay, if I will call it like hedgehog, it will be not so deep. Uh, not.
No,
Uh,
but it's a good name. It's a fitting name also. But yeah, I will try to. Actually such a it's sort of comes from quite difficult a mental situation or like mindset. I've been quite upset with a lot of things, political things, and the situation in the world and everything with war and so on. So the hostility and the aggressiveness of the piece is really from there, but it's at the same time it's quite funny as well, as you say. It's like it's both, and it's also I really enjoy when it's sort of objects or the pieces become a bit absurd, absurd. That is like it gets to the point where they can be scary or they can be, but it's also funny, and it's strange but in a familiar way. So
Yeah, and so when you've been talking about this, yeah, political issues which are surrounding us, I was thinking that maybe your piece is not kind of not a like a weapon, but an armor which we all need to have actually to protect ourselves somehow, like little pieces that will not like kill you, but they prevent from like, okay, maybe I will not deal with it with this person, like armor. Yeah.
and in a way that's always the case with jewelry, that is it's on your body, and it's like showing a signal of something. So it's like an armor or a protection or maybe amulet or something that you fill it with some sort of meaning, but
Yeah.
that is also up to the wearer to do. So it's like if you wear it because you think it's funny, it's then you wear it in a way that it's another way if you wear it because you think it's a protection, and I think that's the strength also about jewelry, that it's an art form that you experience with your whole body, and that's really powerful.
Yeah, yeah. And I know that you have a second very powerful necklace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also for the more absurd sort of way of thinking, but it's yeah, it's a big fork and a big spoon in in a necklace.
Wow. And they're made in wood.
They're made in wood, yes. So
Mhm.
it's like this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like a so statement.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean they can mean so many things to the whoever experience them, but I know what it means to me, and I don't think that is it's not really important that you think the same thing or experience the same thing when you look at it or wear it. But it's I think a lot about this, about titles actually, but with because then the titles is a way of for you to give sort of a lead to your thoughts when you experience the piece. So it's like, if you want to do that, it's really good to just have a title that is explanatory in a way, but if you don't want to, it's not necessary either. I think it's but titles are important.
Yeah, for me, this necklace is also not about only absurdic thing, but I was also thinking like, but maybe it's like a new. I think maybe it's existed already something like this, but maybe like a new word in object design, because why not to have fork and spoon together? Maybe it will be very convenient, even like a thing to eat, like one another. Yes.
Yes, yes, and you can try to eat with these, but it's like really it's difficult. But I thought it was really also very nice to have it like this because then you have just a fork and a spoon on the same string.
Yeah.
I was laughing about that.
Yeah. And I don't know how it's called in English exactly, but in Russian language we have this when we speak about something which is not only like black and white, we speak that like it's a subject with two ends. Like you cannot say is it black or white. Yeah, you need to think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, wow, cool. So this exhibition will be about forks and potatoes.
Yeah, and spoons.
And
So yeah, Carmen Lopez, she's really into spoons, and of course, I think that is interesting as well. And I mean, the spoon is so interesting with you put it, you have it so close to you, it even enters your body. So it's like an instant body experience.
yeah, like some very even intimate object which we use constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Wow. Congratulations with the exhibition. So it will be till the end of June, something like this.
I think it will be until the middle of June, I think. I'm not really sure about the dates, but the 4th of May is the opening. That's what I'm sure about. And I will be there also in Madrid. So
Oh, cool. I would love to visit. I would love to. Spain is so close to Portugal. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, so Elin, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the stories. Yeah, even like private stories from yeah, the story of your relatives and so on. Yeah, it was really nice to speak with you and to know more about.
it was so much fun to talk to you. It was a pleasure.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Elin. Hope to see you soon somewhere or even just in internet. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.